Well, here it is. Let's take a look, shall we? Right, hello. First video of 2026, and it's an unboxing. This is the ICEFLAME Mono Semi NXT. I ordered it sometime in November last year, mid-November, and I've just got my hands on it, having been out of the country over Christmas and New Year, and so I thought we could open it up and take a look at it together. Before I do, I have a caveat that I have to deliver to one of my eagle-eyed, attentive viewers, my sister. I know when we were talking over Christmas I said I didn't need any more gear, but at the time I said that, I had already ordered this and it was on the way. So what I said was true from a certain point of view. With that caveat out of the way, let's unbox this, shall we? Now, what we have here is exactly as it came delivered. I ordered it with standard delivery. That meant China Post, I think by plane, may have been by very fast sea freight, and then DHL. In terms of delivery, well, let's start with ordering. The website I found very easy to use. It was very clear. They had a nice offer just before Christmas, so I took advantage of that, and I'll put the price, the recommended retail price for what I ordered, and the price that I ultimately paid after discount up on the screen after I found it in my computer. So as you can see, I ordered the semi-standard Mono NXT, regular length, standard width, 850 fill power Muscovy duck down, and I added 200 grams of down for 195.75 with a discount of 19.57 for Christmas, including shipping, 176.18 euros all in. This is my first time trying a quilt, and I have Jeremy, my good friend now and subscriber, to thank for this. I met him face to face on my second and successful attempt at the Wainwright's Coast to Coast earlier last year, and amongst other things that he introduced me to and shared with me was his quilt. He showed it to me. He didn't share it, but he showed it to me. He told me about the ordering process, how satisfied he was with it, and I tell you, when he took it out of his rucksack the final evening before we walked on to Robin Hood's Bay, he just opened it up, threw it out on his mats to Loft, and I swore the thing had a life of its own. I mean, it just inflated like I couldn't believe, and so I could well believe that it kept him very, very warm, whereas I had been very, very cold through the whole trip. It was in early May, and I had taken my lightest sleeping bag for reasons of space and weight and everything, but I suffered as a result of that. Not horribly, but I was not as comfortable as I might have been. So when I came back, I had this niggling interest in trying something like this product, and then when I saw what you appeared to get on the website for the price that they were asking, I thought I really needed to have a look at it. So here it is. It's well packed. It's, by the looks of it, in a box. So I'm just going to open up the outside packaging and give this a look. Yeah, like I thought. Inside here, the quilt itself is in a cardboard box. Is this doing it for you, ASMR people? Let's get this out. There we go. So the box has survived the journey from China pretty well, all things considered. I should also say that the delivery was a little problematic, but that was nothing to do with ICEFLAMEGEAR or even China Post. Everything went fine, albeit slightly slow, going through all of the checks and balances and so on via China Post. But as soon as this was in the hands of DHL, everything went wrong. So thank you very, very much to the lovely ladies down there in the corner shop stroke DHL office stroke Deutsche Post. Thank you to ICEFLAMEGEAR for packaging this well, and thank you to China Post for getting it at least to Europe, and no thanks at all to DHL once again. Rant over. Let's get this open. Let's see. What do you get? You open the box, and inside, again, well packaged in plastic. You get some nice logoed bags, safe hiking, protecting the warmth of life. You could probably use this bag as a liner, it's pretty robust. And inside we have the storage bag and the quilt itself. There you have it, storage net, reasonable size. Bag now, I can already see it starting to loft a little bit. Maybe that's just my eyes deceiving me. But let's get this open. Nice drawstring. This all feels nice quality. And here is the bag itself. Is that a loose end? Just a little bit of loose thread there. Here is the quilt. Okay. Hopefully what you can see is the quilt. I've just laid it out on my widest mat. This is a Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm NXT, regular length wide, so square off, not mummy shape. And this is the quilt. So in terms of length, the quilt is almost but not quite exactly the same length as the sleeping pad, which I think is optimal. I wouldn't want it longer. I wouldn't want it much shorter. The material, as I look at it, appears quite thin, quite light, but we'll have to see how robust it is. On this side, this is, I think, the top. I can see hooks here for connecting the quilt straps. There are also hooks or eyelets here. And all the way along the quilt, you have these quick release clips for opening the quilt up. So let's just open the quilt up. The action on these is really nice. They pop really nicely. At the bottom of the quilt, so let me even out some of the contents here. If I look through it, I can see where I'm going to need to redistribute some of the down, just fluff it later on. But this is the quilt in its full size. I'll put the measurements up again later. Yellow on the inside, grey on the outside, quite stylish. Yeah, this is already gaining quite a lot of loft, just looking at it. And at the foot end, you have, well, first of all, you have a load of accessories and things. Let's get rid of those for a moment. So you have the zip here, just a simple one-way zip, so you can close up the foot end of the bag. And you have a drawstring here, so you can tighten up or cinch up the foot end. And if you do that, then presumably the bag is designed to lie more or less like this on the pad. So around about here are the points for the straps to go underneath the mat, and similarly on the other side. So you can see there's about, for me, a hand's length, probably roughly about 6 inches of down-filled material that would go under the quilt when it's strapped on, creating something of a draft baffle. And then at the top here, you can also cinch it up by the looks of it. That's interesting. Yeah. On one side, simply pulls it through so you can get a snug fit at the neck. That's nice. I'll just return it so it can just loft up as it wishes. Also at the foot end. Let's open this up as well, and open this up too. I have to say, so far, I'm quietly impressed with this. Actually, while that's lofting up, I can show you what's in this. This is the accessories bag that was attached to the foot end, and what I'm expecting in here are the straps for tensioning this around your mat. I've seen 1 or 2 reviews of this product that suggested that these straps are both a little short and a little inflexible, and that's true. These are absolutely not stretchy. But they do have some adjustment here, so that's nice. And if I look at this, let's just test whether this will fit around this wide mat. Okay, so we'll slip that through there.
Throw this under the mat. Collect it from here. And then find what I believe is the matching loop. Let's call it this one. Top tier content, isn't it? Right, okay, there we go. There seems to be plenty of length to attach that, so let's just pull that together. Let me do that with the other one. Same on both sides. Let's take this one here. And put it through to there. Okay, and then I'll put this other one. Just cinch it down, cinch it down. For now, let me just set this back up again. Just to have some control over this.
Okay. Right. Well, that works pretty well, I would say. That's not going anywhere. I maybe want it a little bit looser than that. Ooh. There we go. But yeah. That's nicely secured, roughly around about where this part of your body would be. Still, legs are able to wriggle around, top's able to wriggle around, but it shouldn't go flying off in the middle of the night, which is an improvement over a sleeping bag. Now this, which I'll try out later when the down has had a chance to fully loft and recover, is the stuff sack, compression sack that they send with it. It seems to be made from a similar material to the bag itself. It's very thin. I wouldn't say that this is waterproof at all. I mean, apart from anything, it's, well, yeah, look at it. But I've seen it being used by another YouTuber, and it does seem to compress this down quite a ways. So I'll try that out later and I'll show you what results we get. But yeah, this I'm liking. When I look inside the bag, now that it's lofting up, you can see that the down isn't a completely uniform colour. You have some dark patches from dark down, but my word, that's really fluffed up a lot. Overall, I really am quite impressed with this. Quite impressed indeed. Now, just for a bit of fun, let's get in it. It feels, just to be under it feels really nice. It's light, but you can still feel that something's on top of you. It's not weighing you down, but it's not so thin that you think that you're not covered by anything. And I'm starting to heat up. Crikey. I have to say, without field testing it, just based on first impressions, I'm very impressed with this. I'll do a follow-up once I've used it on a couple of hikes. Later on this year I'm planning to go to do the Rennsteig, which is about a 5 to 7 day hike in central Germany, and then over to the UK to walk the North Downs, the St Swithin's Way, so basically the Pilgrim's Way, and then the South Downs Way is one big loop, or semi-loop. And on those two trips I'll be able to try this out in various conditions at various times of year. And at the end of that, probably somewhere just shy of Eastbourne, I might give you my considered and informed opinion. But right now I'm going to get out of this because this is very hot. Okay, so that's all from me for now, from my rather untidy living room. Apologies for the rather ramshackle, impromptu nature of this video, but why not? So hopefully some of you enjoyed that. Maybe some of you even found it useful. Like I say, I'll put the stats and the prices and the dimensions and all of that in the description, as well as at various points in the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient with me. Here's to a wonderful 2026, and warm wishes to you and all those you love. Bye for now.